Hi guys. So I just finished having lots of fun recording with an amazing being, an individual. Her name is Zulma. She's out in the East Coast and she's coming to give some access consciousness classes next month. One which I'm very excited to be taking myself. And so you guys are going to see some promotions on that and some videos on that, both in English and in Spanish. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that. But anyway, I wanted to take advantage since everything's set up before I shift to the next task. I wanted to kind of create almost like a part two to the video that I had made around grief this past week. And so because I feel like that was an introduction to the topic, um, with the awareness that grief is there's so much to it. There's so many perspectives and layers to it that I feel like the first video is a great invitation to the topic, a great invitation to different points of views on it. But there was a couple of other things, and it may even be more than just this next video that I'm making. Let it be whatever it needs to be and however many it needs to be. But what I really wanted to speak on for me and in the human experience in general, grief shows up in more ways than one. And it shows up as a result of more than one thing outside of what we commonly know it as, which is what is the psychological process behind losing someone that we lost from them passing, from them moving on to the next realm, moving on from their time here. And so for me, I wanted to speak on so that people had the awareness because many people feel and sit in the space of wrongness as a result of not realizing that a big part of what they're experiencing on their day to day is grief, even though no one passed away. And it's like, how does that work? What do you mean by that? So let me speak to that a little bit. Grief is pretty much what shows up with any loss, any form of loss. Okay. Obviously, the one of the hardest experiences of grief is when we lose someone we love from this physical world. But it isn't just within that. And it's really important that there's an awareness around this because people judge themselves for whatever funk they are in, not realizing that the funk is showing up because it's a psychological process of being human. And what I'm referring to is the 5 stages of grief. And we don't realize that any kind of loss can activate those 5 stages. For example, a loss of a job, a moving to a different city, a loss of a marriage, a loss of a relationship, a loss of a friendship, a falling out with a family member, any kind of loss, the challenge of losing their home, either through eviction, through a financial hardship, through a fire. I mean, all the ways that we gain and lose in this life, so much, so much, so many ways. A lot of what I do day in and day out is related in the work of addiction recovery. I have the honor of getting to know incredible beings that are stepping into the bravery of change. That's the best way that I would put it, because they are very brave. I'm so proud of all the clients that I meet. Because just even stepping into wanting something different and choosing something different is so brave in itself, and it's just an honor to be surrounded by that day in and day out. But anyway, I mean, I get sidetracked because I know I can do that. But I bring them up because I see them going through grief every single day. And they don't realize it. And I have to explicitly teach it and create that awareness with them in group, because they don't realize that a huge reason why they woke up, I mean, there's many reasons, but a big reason of what could be showing up on why they woke up angry, or why they were just fine and then the next moment they're pissed off, and then they're like sad, and then they're accepting of, where they're at, and then they're bargaining, with their past and their past choices and where they're at in the moment and what they want to like bargain with and consider. Like, it all shows up. And I tell them it's because you are in a space of loss. The loss of choosing to go beyond your addiction, to let go of who you were, the identity that you knew yourself to be. Because that identity had a routine, it had a community, it had habits, it had certain thought patterns. There's all these things that came with it. And when we give it up, it's a loss. It's something that you no longer have. Even if you chose to let it go, it's still a loss. And then I've had to really speak to also the emptiness that comes with letting go. There's this sense of emptiness that we're not familiar with because we're so used to filling up our life with stuff, and sometimes it's physical stuff, sometimes it's this. And in another video, I speak to signal versus noise. It's all the noise, okay? And so please, I remind you, whether you are in recovery, whether you are in recovery, let's go with that word, whether you're in recovery of the loss of an addiction, whether you're in recovery in exploring, a new version of yourself, whether you're recovering from a divorce, whether you're recovering from a falling out with someone that you care about, you're in a new city, wherever you're at. And this is important to me because part of what I want to create in this channel is the process, documenting and sharing the process of change, of starting over. And please recognize that when you're feeling empty, it's just space. It's actually an incredible, delicious space. Okay. And even though it's uncomfortable, and it's uncomfortable because you're stepping outside of what you know. All right. So that's part of what I wanted to create in today's call, because I know that my last one, because of the topic itself, it can be heavier. And it could have activated some things in others who have also lost a loved one. However, I just wanted to make sure that I wanted to capture the whole coin. Okay, because that's the way that I see life. We have the head and the tail. Okay, we have the whole coin. And when we get focused on just one area, the good, the bad, the right, the right way, the wrong way, whatever it is, we lose sight of the whole thing. Okay. And so the intention of me creating this second part to the video that I shared this week is to create that awareness of seeing it from more than one side of the coin and seeing how much comes with it and all the different ways it presents itself more than what we know it to be. And so that's all it is. It's just some awareness so that if this reaches anyone that's going through any kind of change, any place of renewal, okay, any place of reset, recovering, whatever it is, I invite you to be aware that as it's going like this, because also the other misconception around grief is that it goes like this. Okay. Oh, first I'm going to experience this. Then it's going to be this stage. Then it's going to be this. Then it's going to be that. And yay, I reached acceptance and I'm supposed to have rainbows and butterflies and feel all better and healed. That is not how it works, okay? It is what my clients commonly hear me say, and those that are watching this probably can even fill in the blank. What is healing, guys? It can be messy as fuck, okay? It can also be fun. It's meant to activate, the experience. Because that's what we came here for. We came here to play, we came here to experience. We came here to touch the hot stove when we were told not to. We're here to experience. And so with that, that's my intention today with this. Okay. So may it reach whomever it needs to reach. Anybody going through those changes that needed to hear this today. I invite anyone to share this with anyone that you know is going through this and could use hearing this and these points of views around grief. So if you are in the middle of a loss, it be whatever it is that you lost, okay? Give yourself grace. Give yourself grace through this process because part of the way that this human experience shows up, there's a psychological process around it. Does it mean that it has to look this way for you? No, there's also tools around that. However, just so that you have an awareness of how your brain functions when it's processing change can be so helpful so that you can work with it rather than against it. Okay, so there's the invitation. And I hope you guys enjoy this. If anything else comes up for me related to this, I'll just create another layer of this. But yes, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you're all having a good week.